Hi, good morning everyone. So what I was thinking today is we would do some leg work. It's more Pilates than yoga, but it's going to strengthen the glutes, gluteus medius, which are the more of like on the side of the hips. We'll do gluteus max as well. And then we'll work our way, I think, towards bird of paradise, which is, we do from time to time. You go from extended side angle pose, you add the bind, and then you hop the back leg forward and you try and balance on one leg with the other leg out to the front. Challenging pose. If you're not there, you can just hang out in extended side angle pose, which is a nice pose as well. A block might be useful as we get to that point. We'll start off as usual seated. So just resting the hands on the legs. Close the eyes. And just relax the shoulders as you take the head slightly back, keeping the chin parallel to the ground. Bring your focus, bring your attention to the breath, breathing in and out through the nose, starting to take longer, deeper breaths. As you inhale, feel that air coming in, filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. Exhale through the nose. Try and make that exhale just as long as the inhale. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. So we're going to add some neck stretches. So start bringing the right ear towards the right shoulder. Just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out. And take 3 or 4 breaths here. And then we inhale as we bring the head back up. And exhale over to the other side, just letting the head get heavier with the breath. This is a good neck stretch, stretch out the shoulders a little bit. And then we bring the head back up. And then we're going to turn the head to the right, letting the movement follow the gaze of the eyes. You're trying to look behind you as you turn the head. Inhale back to center. Exhale as we turn the head in the other direction. Inhale back to center. And then we bring the chin towards the chest. Now this time we're going to take the hands behind the head, just encouraging the chin in a little closer, stretching out the back of the neck. We keep the chin tucked as we bring the hands down. And then we just rotate the head in one direction, going nice and slow, maybe about 3 rotations. Ending up with the chin at the chest. And then we circle in the other direction. And again we end up with the chin at the chest, and then we bring the head back up to neutral. bring up the right arm extended forward, parallel to the ground, shoulder retracted back, and then you're going to pull that arm in towards you, just enough so you feel an easy, gentle stretch. And then inhale, getting taller. Exhale, pulling that arm in a little closer. Inhale. And then the arm comes in a little closer still. So we're working with the breath. We're working with the body as well. We're not fighting the body. Everything's trying to cooperate. If you find yourself struggling, then the body isn't in the picture. So you need to listen to your body so we can get deeper into those stretches. We can find the stretch that's good for us. We're all individuals, don't compete. Other side, inhaling, getting taller. Exhale, pulling that arm in a little closer. Nice stretch across the upper arm, the deltoid, and the back, the upper back. Release. Interlace the fingers, extend the arms forward, shoulders back again. Trying to get the arms pretty straight, stretching the hands and fingers out as we bring the arms up. Be kind to the shoulders. Maybe the arms don't go all the way up, maybe they just part way up. If you have a shoulder issue, maybe you can only keep them parallel to the ground. But eventually, we're trying to frame the face, extending the arms up towards the ceiling. We're reaching up and then pulling the shoulder blades down slightly. And breathe. We interlace the hands behind us, interlace the fingers a different way to what you normally would. We pull the shoulders down, shoulder blades together, looking up as you extend forward, as you hinge forward, and then tuck the chin as you start to carefully bring the arms up. Go slow, go with the breath. And then we come back up. Little bit of a twist, and then we'll go into those leg exercises. So we'll twist to your right, so you bring the left hand onto the right leg. Inhale, getting tall, looking over the shoulder behind you into an easy twist. First twist early on in the class is an easy, gentle twist. Once we're warmed up, we can go a little deeper into the twists. And then back to center. So what we're going to do, we've done this before, we do this now and again. I don't do it that often though. So we're going to lie on our sides, and you can support the head with the hand, or you can bring the head down onto the arm, whatever's most comfortable. The legs are straight, and you bring both legs slightly forward of the hips. I think we'll work on the lower leg first. So take that top leg in front of the lower leg. So you've got room to lift that lower leg up and down, which we're going to do next. You're trying to bring that lower leg up and as far as you can, and then down. And we're going pretty slow. Just trying to work those inner quad muscles. A little bit neglected there, so this is a good one. And this could, sometimes if you're weak there, if you have knee problems, it could be that there's a problem with those muscles. So this could stabilize the knee. So we're going to keep the leg up and just circle it in one direction. Maybe about 10 circles, 10 rotations. And then we circle in the other direction. And then we lower the leg, we stack the legs, again the legs slightly forward of the hips. We turn the toes of the top foot towards the ground, and we're going to lift that leg up and down slowly, full range of motion. About 10. you're going to start feeling this in those glutes. And then we turn the heel to the ground and we're leaning slightly forward so that we don't roll onto our backs. And then we bring the leg up and down again. Another 10. You're probably starting to feel those glutes working. And then we're just going to circle that top leg. One direction. And then the other direction. I can feel this. It's working those muscles. And then we bring that leg down. There's other things we can do as well, but we're going to skip those today, and we're just going to flip over to our other side. Working on the bottom leg first. So leg slightly forward of the hips, bring the top leg in front of you, start bringing that bottom leg up and down a few times. Let's do a few more here. And then we just circle in one direction. And then the other direction. And then we stack the legs and we bring that top leg up and down with the toes pointing towards the ground. Forgot to say that. And then we turn the heel towards the ground, we lean slightly forward so we don't roll onto our backs. Bringing the leg as high as we can, full range of motion. And then we even out the body and we circle that leg one direction. Nice big circles. And then we come onto our front of our body and just relax for a few breaths while I turn the lights on here. With the sun shining through, it's helps with the recording if I have the lights on a little bit. So we're on our front, we're resting the forehead on the ground, and we're just going to bring one leg up and down, again full range of motion. And this is going to work the gluteus max. And then keep the leg raised and do little fast pulses, little movements up and down. Then we switch legs, the other leg comes up and down, full range of motion, slow. Then we keep the right leg raised as we do little pulses up and down. Pretty quick this time. And we lower the leg and we transition into child's pose, just stretching the back out for a few breaths. Okay, Sphinx. You're on the forearms, elbows are under the shoulders. We make fists with the hands. Forearm plank, tuck the toes, lift those hips up into neutral. You're looking directly at the mat. Hips not too high, not too low. Try not to sink between the shoulders, so pull that area up towards the ceiling. If you need to bring the knees down, you can. If you want more challenge, bring the toes close to each other and bring one leg up and hold it. Don't hold the breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We switch. Other leg comes up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We walk the knees in. We keep the elbows under the shoulders, no wider than shoulders. Palms together. We're going into a version of Dolphin. We tuck the toes. We bring the knees up. I would start with the knees bent, trying to keep the back neutral. And then we're pushing into the mat to keep the head off the ground. If the head is touching the ground, probably the elbows are too wide apart. We then push the mat away, trying to get more of a straight line, elbows through the shoulders to the hips. Getting a straight line with each breath, looking between the legs. If you can keep the the back neutral, you can maybe straighten the legs a little bit more if you want. Breathe. Nice shoulder opener. Good stretch across the upper back. We bring the knees down. We bring the hands under the shoulders. We tuck the toes. We come into downward facing dog. We bring the feet close to each other and we start walking the dog. For me, this stretches out my calf muscles more than anything else. Some people it's more of a hamstring stretch. Whatever. But it's going to lengthen and strengthen the back of the legs. We hold one leg straight, one knee bent. And what I find as I do this, I can go a little deeper into the downward facing dog. I can get my head a little closer to the ground. I'm pulling my armpits towards the ground. I'm looking towards the feet. We switch legs, other leg straight, other knee bent. We bring the right leg up to the ceiling. Straight line from the hands, through the shoulders, the hips, all the way to that top foot. Extended down dog. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, see if you can touch the right elbow with the right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee towards the chin. I can't touch the chin, but I bring the knee closer. Inhale the other leg up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale to right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee towards the chin. Inhale, extend. Top foot joins the bottom foot. We bring the knees down and we take 2 or 3 breaths in child's pose again. Just relax. We're back on our hands and knees. We're back into downward facing dog. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands, inhaling halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward. Hold the forward fold. Check the feet. Big toes are in contact with each other. Little gap between the ankles. You've got contact between the belly and the legs. Head is totally relaxed. You can nod the head yes and no, nice and loose. And then we bring one hand inside one elbow, the other hand inside the other elbow. Just so we can stretch out the shoulders and let the arms just dangle there. Stretching out the back of the legs again. Keeping contact between the belly and the legs. Maybe we can straighten the legs a little bit more. Getting a bit more of a hamstring stretch. Also stretching the back out. Breathe. Feel the arms getting closer to the ground. The back should be comfortable. If not, bend the knees more. Should be no discomfort in the back. And we bring the hands down to the ground. Bend the knees more. And we just roll up. Inhaling as the arms come up. Keep the arms up. Interlace the fingers. Point the index finger towards the ceiling. Reach towards the ceiling. Reach a bit more. And then lean over to one side. Getting a side stretch. Keeping the whole body in one plane. One shoulder is no more forward than the other shoulder. And you may be able to go a little deeper on the exhale. Inhale, we come up. We reach up to the ceiling again before we go over to the other side. A little bit lower perhaps on the exhales. Inhale, we come up, we reach up. Now this time we're going to take a backward bend, trying to keep the arms close to the ears, shifting those hips forward, engaging the glutes, keeping the back happy, shifting the hips forward. I think I already said that. And then we come up and we bring the arms either side of us. And we're just going to swing the arms from side to side. Arms nice and loose. Tapping the shoulder as the hand comes in front of you. Tapping the lower back with the hand that's behind you. Letting the movement follow the gaze. You're turning the head as well. Getting nice and loose. And then we just slow down. And we're going to do a little bit of flow. So let me just readjust my mat here. The sun's finding its way in, even though I've got a screen out. I put a tarp out there trying to block the sun, but finds its way. I'm trying to work on that pergola thing. I'm going to be refinishing the wood, so I might put some more screening on top of it. Okay, yoga. Come to the front of the mat. Inhale as you reach those arms up, looking up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Keep the elbows in. So what is good is you turn the inside of the elbow so it's facing forward. Rather than the elbows out, you're trying to turn them in. You bring the knees down, chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Hold down dog 2 or 3 breaths. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands, inhaling halfway up, exhale folding forward, legs straight as you bring the arms up. You can bend the knees if you want. Mountain. This time chair, we start off in chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, we walk into plank. Knees down, chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg up, extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We come into warrior one. Hold warrior one for a breath or two. So the reason I always say keep the elbows in when we're doing that knees, chin, chest to ground, that's to protect the shoulders. If the elbows are out and you go down there's more pressure on the shoulders. So do what you can to keep those elbows in. Flow to the other side. Plank, knees down, chin chest forward and down, inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg up, the other leg, whichever. I might be doing the opposite to you. Warrior one on the other side. We hold this for a breath or two. And then we come back down into plank. And let's hold plank. Good old plank. Nice core work. You're looking just like the forearm plank, you're looking directly at the ground. In fact, you can do forearm plank if it bothers the wrists. Try not to sink between the shoulders. Side plank. Bring the right hand to center, stack the feet, stack the arms. Bottom knee can be down or top foot can be down in front of you. More challenge, top leg comes up. You breathe. We're back in plank and we do side plank on the other side. Maybe bringing the top leg up. We're back into plank. We bring the whole body forward. We're turning the inner elbows forward as we do chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Hips are off the ground. Downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale folding forward, knees bent. We're in chair. And then we come all the way up into mountain. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Chaturanga, inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then into extended side angle pose. We're just going to hold this for a few breaths. We're not going to go any deeper than this just yet. We're looking up towards the ceiling. Trying not to so you don't want the butt to stick out to one side like this. It looks silly. You don't want to bring the hips opposite direction. You're trying to keep those hips nice and neutral. Nice straight line from that top hand all the way through to that back foot. We're back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we come into plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Take a breath or two. And then you bring the left leg up and you sweep that foot through into warrior one. Next exhale, warrior two, keeping that nice knee alignment. Reverse warrior, and then extended side angle pose. And we're just going to hold this for a few breaths. So that top hand, you can just glance at that top hand, make sure it's lined up with the arm. Some people tend to stick the fingers up towards the ceiling, but that puts a little bit of pressure on the wrist. So keep the top hand nicely lined up with the arm. You're breathing. We come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then into plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, hold down dog, or you can go into child's pose, or you can do a little bit of a vinyasa. So just hang out there, I just need to check something. We all end up in downward facing dog. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, bend the knees, back into chair, and then we come all the way up. I think we'll do a little bit of a shoulder opener, hip opener before we try Bird of Paradise. Extend the arms to the side. Shoulders soft. Lines of energy through the arms. Again, those hands are lined up with the arms. We bring the right arm under the left arm, getting the back of the hands close or the fingers of one hand inside the palm of the other hand. We come into chair. Eagle arms. To add the legs, we bring the right leg on top of the left leg. We squeeze those legs together and we'll maybe try and hook the foot. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And then we try and center the arms, we lift the arms up and we sit a little deeper. So we're getting a good shoulder stretch, hip stretch, and a balance. Balance is challenging. And we release and we shake everything out. Extend the arms to the side, bring the left arm under the right arm, come into chair. And then we bring the left leg, so you just basically doing the other side. Bring the left leg on top if you're doing the mirror image to me. We then try and hook the foot. I tried this yesterday, I couldn't get into the hooking yesterday, but today it's working. Sometimes there's more friction and I just can't slide the foot behind the standing leg, but this time it works. Lift the arms up, sit lower and breathe. And release. So, what I used to do, just to get that foot to slide behind the other leg, is I used to put a bit of lotion on the leg. And then, problem was with that, if you did try and do something like crow afterwards, it's too slippy. So the lotion helps one pose, but not other poses. Come to a standing position. Standing on the right foot. Make sure there's a bit of room behind you. Bringing the left foot inside that standing leg, coming into tree. And remember, the foot is above or below the knee, never against the knee joint. Getting tall, shoulders relaxed, engaging the muscles of that standing leg. We're going to have really strong leg muscles after this class. Arms up whenever you're ready. Arms parallel, or you can have the fingers touching each other, it's up to you. For those that want to try dancer pose, we bring the hands down and we take hold of that top foot, and you can take hold of the inside or the outside of the foot, and then you're going to push into that foot as much as you're reaching forward and hinge slowly. Take your time, keep your balance, hinging at the hips, keep looking forward, trying to bring that back foot higher and higher. Pushing into that hand. Breathing. And then slowly come out. With all that hip work to begin with, I can really feel it in that hip. So what you want to avoid in dancer pose, what quite often happens, is the leg comes out to the side like this. And it's really difficult to keep the balance if that happens. So you really want to try and keep those legs nice and close, and you're just bringing that leg back and up as you go into the pose. Tree on the other side. You're on the left foot, you're bringing the right foot inside that standing leg, engaging those muscles, palms together. Take your time, relax the shoulders, slow the breath. If you find you're holding the breath, or if you find you're panting, you're breathing very fast, you're working too hard, if you're panting, try and slow the breath down. And most of the time you want to try and breathe in and out through the nose. With the arms higher, you can bring the fingers together, or you can just keep the arms parallel to each other. For those that want to go into dancer pose, you don't have to, you can stay in tree. You take hold of that back foot, keeping the legs in close to each other. You're pushing that foot into that hand, reaching the other arm forward, extending it forward. So my hand is sort of at the same height as my forehead. I'm reaching forward as I'm pushing that foot into that hand. I'm hinging forward, breathing, trying to keep my balance. That's the operative word. And I've lost it. If you come out of the pose, just try again. This side is a little bit more challenging for me. There we go. Okay, shake everything out, the feet, the arms, the legs. Okay. We're going to go into Bird of Paradise. Maybe. Challenging pose. Let's, I think I'll do the side view first. So let's just head straight into Warrior 2. Doesn't matter which side you're doing. So I'm working with my right foot forward. Then I'll do, I don't know, I'm just in the habit of this. After Warrior 2, I do a reverse warrior, getting a nice side stretch, and then extended side angle pose. Now if you remember, when you do the bind, you want trying to keep the chest facing the side of the room. If you can't do the bind and at the same time have the chest facing the side of the room, just hang out like this. Just do regular side angle pose. I do this in class. I always mention this in class, but 90% of the people ignore what I'm saying. But that's my advice. Now from here, we're going to lower that hand, the lower hand, inside the leg, and you're trying to touch the ground with the fingers. You're keeping the torso parallel to the side of the room still. Then I try and face the ground as I take the bind, and my lower arm is centered on the thigh. I'm trying not to bring it right between the legs. And then I hook the fingers, and then I open back up. This is what some people find a challenge, opening back up. But I think you need to open back up to be able to get into Bird of Paradise. The next step is you hop that back foot towards the front foot. You balance on the foot you just brought forward, keeping the bind. Come up slowly, and then you try and extend that top leg into a Bird of Paradise pose. And you breathe. You come out the way you came in, and we end up in extended side angle pose, and then we come back up into Warrior 2, and we just swivel on the feet, and we're in Warrior 2 on the other side. Challenging pose. Just do what you can, just go as far as you can without hurting yourself. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Some of you are just going to be hanging out here, right? We're opening up. With some of us are sliding that hand down inside the leg. We then take the bind, keeping that arm centered on the thigh, hooking the fingers. We open up. We hop that back foot towards the front foot. Might be a couple of steps. We stand on that leg. And once we're up, we try and extend that top leg. We come out the way we came in, releasing the bind, back into regular extended, back into warrior two, and then we're all set. Okay, piece of cake. Not really. You need a lot of opening of the hips, a lot of opening of the shoulders. Right foot forward, warrior two. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. We lower that arm, we take the bind. We open up the body, the torso towards the side of the room. We hop that back foot towards the front foot. We balance on that foot. And then we try and extend that top leg. Top foot comes down, back into warrior, extended side angle, then warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we flow to the other side. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, extended down dog, other foot forward, your left foot, warrior one. Oh, we did an extra warrior one, never mind. Warrior two, reverse warrior, extended side angle. We slide that arm down towards the ground. We take the bind. We open the body up. We bring that top foot forward. We balance on that foot. And then we try and extend the leg. And we bring the foot down, come out the way we came in, warrior, extended side angle, warrior two, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, and I think we deserve a bit of a rest here, child's pose. I know if we were in class here in person, there'd be lots of moans and groans and complaints about that pose, but it's fun. And it's, you know, if you can't get to a pose, it's no big deal. Just trying to get part of the way is good. The journey is good, even if you can't complete the journey, so it's good. So you're on your knees, the toes are tucked. You bring your hands either side of the knees, and you're just going to bring the knees off the ground. We're just going to rock on the toes a little bit, just stretching out the back of the ankles, the Achilles tendons. We're just rocking backwards and forwards. Then we start to lower the heels closer to the ground. Maybe the heels will come all the way down, maybe not. If you want to support the heels, you could roll up some of the mat, bring your heels onto the rolled up mat. But I'm going to bring my heels all the way down, and I'm extending the arms forward. My back is pretty rounded, so I'm getting a gentle stretch in the back. If this hurts the back, come out of the pose, but it should be just a gentle stretch there. So what we're trying to do here is stretch out the back of the ankles, and just breathe, slow breath, relaxing. We bring the knees back down, we bring the top of the feet onto the mat, the knees are wide apart, and we bring the hands between the knees, fingers pointing towards the back of the mat, stretching out the hands. So we're just stretching out the hands, the fingers, the wrists. So if you have tight wrists, this is a nice good stretch for the hands. If you're not feeling much, you could try just walking the knees further forward. See if that happens. I think that happens, or is it the other way around? I think you bring the hands further forward and you might get a little bit more stretch in the wrist. Some people are just super flexible there. They might not feel much, but I feel quite a stretch in the wrists and in the forearm on this one. We then bring the knees together and we bring the hands in line with the toes. We open up the chest as we tuck the chin, and then we start bringing those hips up towards the ceiling. Head goes back carefully, maybe keep a little bit of bend in the elbows, opening the whole front body. Breathe. We slowly come all the way down, back into child's pose. Hang out in child's pose. You should have a block handy. I'm assuming you all you guys have blocks. So the block is reachable as you're on your back and you walk the feet in. So we're going to go up and down into bridge a few times, and then we're going to go into restorative bridge. On the inhale, push the lower back into the ground and lift those hips up. On the exhale, slowly come down. You keeping the gaze towards the ceiling at all times. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now before you come up, I'd like you to try and keep pushing the lower back into the ground just before you lift those hips up. Engaging those glutes. More glutes work, more leg work on this one. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, coming down. A couple more times. Now this time, we're going to hold bridge. Now if you don't have a block, you're just going to have to work holding the position. If you do have a block, we can slide it underneath the sacrum and we can rest on the block. So I'm having the block at half height, and I'm just going to bring my arms either side, palms facing up, and I'm just going to relax here for a few breaths. This is a nice pose. It's a restorative pose. We're getting a gentle opening of the front body, which is good. We tend to tighten up there because of all the keyboard work we do. If you want, you can take the block at its fullest height and put it underneath the sacrum to get more of a front body, but backward. Well, it's actually a backward bend, right? And then, if your block is nice and firm, you can keep the arms either side of you. If it's one of those squidgy blocks, you're going to have to hold onto the block as you bring the legs up to the ceiling, coming into a bit of an inversion. As I say, hold onto the block if it feels a bit unstable. And we just hang out here. It should be comfortable. If the block's in the right spot, it's a comfy pose. And then we bring the feet down, stay on your toes, lifting the hips up, and remove the block, bring down the upper back, mid back, lower back, pull the knees in nice and close, and just rock from side to side. Both feet come down. We bring the outer of the left foot onto the right leg. We pull the legs in close. Foot that's close to you, dorsiflexion. Toes pulled in, heel pushed out. A lot of arm strength as you're pulling those legs in closer, but at the same time you're trying to keep the tailbone towards the ground. And we just rock from side to side. A little bit of a back massage. And then we switch outer of the right foot, the ankle, to the left leg, pulling the legs in, activating that foot. A little bit of a rocking here. And then into happy baby, both knees come in. We hold on to the feet. So I like to hold on to the inside of the feet. It doesn't matter, you can do the inside or the outside, or you can just hold on to the big toes. Wherever you're at, you're trying to get the tailbone low, you're trying to pull the legs lower to the ground, keeping length in the neck. And then we take hold of the big toes. Now my palms face each other. First two fingers, thumb around the big toe, and we try and extend the legs into a V position, if we can, or at least approach that. You're pulling the shoulders down away from the ears, getting a stretch down the inside of the legs here. This feels a good stretch. Let's hold this one. We bend the knees, keeping hold of the feet. You lift the head up, and we're going to try and rock ourselves up, balancing on the sit bones without touching the ground with the feet. So you might have to rock a few times, get that momentum as we rock, and then we extend the legs again. Trying to keep the back neutral, and then we quickly take hold of the back of the legs, coming into boat. You can keep the knees bent, or you can bring the arms either side of the legs. The higher the legs, the straighter the legs, the more you're going to have to work to keep that back neutral. You're breathing. I'm really trying to pull those hips forward. So I'm not rounding the back. I'm trying not to round the back anyway. We lower, so the legs are still off the ground, but they're about 3 inches off the ground. Hands behind the head, which is also off the ground. You're pushing the lower back into the ground like crazy. Abs of steel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we lower all the way down, and we take a full body stretch. Reaching with those arms, reaching with the legs, trying to get as much length as you possibly can. We take a little bit of a side stretch, getting into that banana shape, stretching out one side of the body. And then we stretch out the other side. And then we recenter. And then we walk both knees in. We pull both knees in. We're going to come into a twist here. So knees are pulled in as you take them over to the right side, extending the left arm, looking over that left shoulder. You want to try and keep both shoulders on the ground. Palm up of that extended arm, palm facing the ceiling, back of the hand on the ground, shoulders on the ground. If you can't keep the shoulders on the ground, just bring that hand onto the chest so you're not putting any stress on the shoulder. We come out of the twist, holding onto the knees, and we rock again. And then we take the twist in the other direction. So I'm pulling that right shoulder down, away from the head, trying to pull the shoulder into the back. I'm placing the shoulder on the ground. I'm looking over towards that extended arm, palm facing up, and breathe. We come out of the twist. Knees come in again, holding onto the knees, and we just rock again. I always like to do this after twists. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, eyes closed, butterfly pose. The hands can be on the floor, on your belly, or gently resting on the legs, encouraging the knees towards the ground. If it bothers the hips, what you could do is put supports underneath the legs. If it still bothers the hips, come out of the pose. You want to use the breath, letting those hips open with the breath. Trying to relax there, trying to let that tension melt away. Whenever you're ready, you can transition into Shavasana. Bringing the arms either side of you, palms face up, eyes closed. And just totally relax, letting the whole body get heavy. Just check things out, working from the feet up, make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. Maybe moisten the lips. Keeping your attention on the breath so that you stay present. And then just stretch out the toes. And then stretch out the hands. And then just relax the hands and toes. Again, stretch out the toes, stretch out the hands. And relax. And then one last time, stretching out the toes and the hands. And relax. Walk the feet in towards you. And just roll over to one side, keeping the eyes closed. Take 2 or 3 breaths. Still with the eyes closed, gently come up into a seated position. And then inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep the palms together, hands to the forehead. Namaste.